What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the show. And on today's program, we're going to go over what John Harbaugh, Eric DeCosta had to say yesterday in their end-of-the-year presser. I'm going to give my 5 biggest takeaways on everything the two head honchos of this organization had to say following the end of the 2024 NFL season. But I want to know, okay, are you guys still here? If you are still rocking with this team through thick and thin, through rain or shine, whatever it is, I need you to show me down below by hitting a thumbs up on today's video. I need to know who the real ones are, and if you're a real one, then like the video. So my first takeaway from yesterday's press conference was that Mark Andrews is not going anywhere, okay? And this is what John Harbaugh had to say. He said, Mark is a huge part of our future, and we're there for him. Okay, and then DeCosta was asked about the contract situation with Mark Andrews, if there was going to be any kind of restructuring. And what DeCosta said was he's spoken to Mark Andrews, but he wants to keep the talks to themselves. Okay, so just going off those two things, my take on this whole thing is number one, this doesn't surprise me. Let's talk a little bit more about that before I go on into any of my subsequent points, okay? This doesn't surprise me because we know this is an extremely loyal franchise. We know that this wasn't going to be something they do. We know that this franchise looks at legacy and looks at things like that almost more than I would say any other one in the National Football League. They love having guys that are homegrown. They love having superstars that start with the Ravens and end with the Ravens. Okay? And I think that's exactly what they see for the future of Mark Andrews. He leads this team, he leads this franchise in touchdown passes. And so I think that they're like, no way in hell. We get it, he fumbled. We get it, he dropped it. And we know we could save $11 million. We're not going to do anything about it because we want him on this team. I would expect a little bit of a contract restructure, though. Because as we've talked about a lot in the past couple days on the show, is if you cut him or trade him before the season, you save $11 million. Let me say that again. You save $11 million. So I would expect a little bit of a contract restructure. It seems like DeCosta and Andrews have probably already started having conversations about that. Let me know in the comment section down below, will Mark Andrews be a Raven in 2025? Type Y for yes, type N for no. You're about to get hit with a YouTube ad break when that time comes. Don't worry about it. Scroll down in the comment section. Find this pinned comment at the top of it and reply with a Y or an N. My second takeaway on today's show is that Harbaugh and DeCosta want Monken back in the offensive coordinator chair come 2025. And I think that this is a fantastic idea. And I'm not even really going to delve deeply into the stats on this one, okay? I think this should be a priority solely because you believe you have your franchise quarterback. You believe you've got a Hall of Famer. You believe you've got a guy who's about to win his 3rd MVP. You believe you've got a guy that's going to lead you to a Super Bowl. And so keeping the offensive coordinator around, keeping Todd Monken around, keeping him with Lamar Jackson, I think needs to be priority number one. Okay? Having continuity for a quarterback and an offensive coordinator is so important. Look at Josh McDaniels with Tom Brady. Look at all the success. Okay, I know Andy Reid isn't the technical offensive coordinator, but look at the play caller of Andy Reid being with Patrick Mahomes. Look at the success they've had. If you can have the guy calling plays consistently be with the guy you believe is your franchise quarterback, that's only going to benefit your team. That's only going to benefit that offense in the long run. And not even to mention it was the second best offense in the history of the NFL. Okay, now we talked about it yesterday. He has interviewed with the Jags. He interviewed with the Bears, and the Bears hired a coach. Jaguars were going to hire a coach, and they didn't hire Liam Cohen. He's been requested from the Raiders. He hasn't accepted that interview request yet. So I expect him to be with Baltimore come this next season. My third takeaway, Justin Tucker will most likely be the go-to guy in 2025. Okay, this is from John Harbaugh. He said there's every expectation that Justin is going to be a great kicker for us next year. Okay, and I have mixed emotions about this, okay? Because on one hand, Tucker finished the season phenomenally, but also I think I'd prefer a little bit of competition sometime in this offseason. Okay, I don't think it's any exaggeration to say that Justin Tucker cost you a few games this year. And I think it's also kind of asinine for us to just assume that 1 year later, 1 year older, he's just going to be suddenly fixed for a whole season. Okay, so I think it's the right move to say he's going to be our go-to guy in 2025, but I also wouldn't mind just a little bit, just like a tad bit of kicker competition. Okay, we got more to talk about coming up on today's show, but before I got to give a massive shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that is our friends over at Prize Picks. The big game is almost here, and it's now or never. So don't miss out on the last game of the season with Prize Picks, because it's the best place to win cash while watching the big game. Prize Picks is also giving away one free pick for the big game, where one of the starting quarterbacks will only need to throw 1 yard to win. If you're correct on at least one more stat projection, you can win real cash. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play just $5. You don't even need a win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed, and you can now win up to 1,000 times your money right here on Prize Picks. So check out the promos tab to tail any of our super sweat, milli winner, big game lineups. If you tail a lineup that goes 3 for 3, you can win a split of $1 million in promo funds. And guys, the thing that I love so much about Prize Picks is that it's just so easy to play. Okay, I play it, my wife plays it, my 58-year-old dad plays it every single day, and there's so many things you could take advantage of as these championship games are playing out. Jaden Daniels, all he has to do is throw for half a passing yard. He just has to get more than half a passing yard, and you win that square. So now is the perfect time to get involved, because again, if you play $5 with our code CLNS, you can get $50. So download the Prize Picks app today, use code CLNS, and get $50 instantly when you play just $5. You don't even need a win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Again, that's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play just $5. The link to this promo is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, run your game. Throwing it back to Justin Tucker, I want to hear from you guys. What say you? What is your confidence level in Justin Tucker next year? Do you have all the confidence in the world that he's going to be that guy back to his normal form? Or are you a little bit shaky about how the first 14 weeks of this season played out? Let me know by scaling it for me 1 to 100 in the comment section down below. Up next, takeaway number 4. Tyler Linderbaum and Kyle Hamilton, I believe, will most likely get extensions this offseason. Okay, let's look a little bit into the financials of it. Linderbaum is currently on a rookie deal, as well as Hamilton. Linderbaum's making 4 years, $13.24 million. That is his entirety of his contract. Hamilton's on a 4-year, $16.25 million deal. Now let's look at the projections, okay? Linderbaum, my guess, is somewhere around $15 million. Hamilton, I think he resets the safety market, and I think he makes $20 million. You got two guys right there in that safety position and at the center position that are two of the cornerstones of each sides of the football, okay? You got two guys you believe will be cornerstones in this franchise moving forward. Sure, you got Lamar Jackson, but I'd say behind Lamar, honestly, it might be these two guys, okay? Hamilton, what he does leading this defense, what he does playing so many different positions, doing so many different things is unreal. And then you look at Linderbaum and just the picture of consistency he's been through his first 3 years in the National Football League. It's been beautiful, okay? And we know that this offensive line likes to go a little bit younger from Harbaugh and DeCosta, and Linderbaum's still young. And I think he's going to be a great centerpiece to that offensive line. So that's my projection. Those are my takes from those things. And the last takeaway, okay, the best takeaway, my favorite takeaway of all of them, is that Brandon Stephens will probably get a chance to test his value on the open market. That's coming straight from the head guy. That's coming straight from Harbaugh. He says, probably. Okay? My take on it, one word, 3 syllables. I guess 4 syllables. Hallelujah. I think this is a phenomenal decision. I think this will be better for both sides. Okay, I think Brandon has been the thorn in this team's side for the entirety of this season. Okay, it felt like all year long, every big play, all I needed to do was close my eyes and say, was it a wide receiver? Yep. Is it a catch of 30 yards or more? Yep. Was there pass interference or did he score a touchdown? Either of those things, probably Brandon Stephens in coverage, okay? He was not good. And I think you got a lot of great things in the youth with Nate Wiggins, and I think this might be a position you also target somewhere in free agency or somewhere in this draft. But I think parting ways with Brandon Stephens will be the best thing for this franchise moving forward. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Those were my 5 takeaways on John Harbaugh's press conference. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'll see you next time.